Most men grow up believing that effort equals love, that the harder you work for her, the deeper her loyalty will run. So they show up every day with the same routine: flowers on anniversaries, compliments in the morning, vacations when they can afford them, a constant stream of problem solving and support. They think these gestures are the bedrock of commitment. But here's the truth most men don't want to face. None of it guarantees she'll stay. None of it guarantees her love. None of it secures her soul. Because a woman's loyalty isn't anchored to the things you do. It's anchored to how you make her feel. It's not in fleeting moments, not during special occasions, but in the everyday, in the ordinary. In the silent spaces between words, you can be the provider, the protector, the one who ticks every box on her dream guy list and still watch her slip away without warning. You can be the man who has never failed to show up, who answers every text, forgives every mood, and carries every weight, only to see her give her heart to someone who offers her none of that. Why? Because to her, love isn't measured in logic, it's measured in the emotional experience you create. Being around you no longer makes her feel alive, desired, or seen. She'll start drifting. And the drift doesn't always begin with physical distance. It begins in her mind, in her heart, in the quiet moments where she realizes something is missing. This is why you see men who do everything right still lose to the man who brings less, but makes her feel more. In her world, emotion is currency. Stability without emotional depth is just comfort, and comfort without passion eventually becomes invisible. What she craves isn't just what you provide, it's the energy you radiate when you're around her. Asterisk. This is why you'll see the guy who treats her like royalty, who gives her everything she asks for, who never lets her lift a finger loose. Her too, the man who barely lifts a hand, but knows how to stir her emotions. It's not that she's chasing mistreatment. It's that she's chasing a feeling she can't manufacture on her own. The unpredictable surge of excitement when she's not entirely sure what he's thinking. The magnetic pull of confidence. When he moves through life without needing her validation. The raw masculine energy that can shift a room without raising its voice. Those things can't be bought. They can't be faked for long. When your stability doesn't carry emotional depth, it becomes background noise. When your kindness lacks the edge of masculine certainty, it begins to feel flat. Women respond. Two men who awaken their feminine energy, who give them a reason to feel deeply. That spark rarely comes from a man who is performing to be liked. It comes from a man whose presence already holds weight, whether she's in the room or not. The truth is, when you give from fear of fear, she might lose interest. Fear you might upset her. Fear of being alone, she feels it instantly. The feminine is deeply intuitive. She can sense when your giving is rooted in insecurity instead of strength. And nothing suffocates attraction faster than a man who is desperate to be kept. It's not the list of things you've done for her that keeps her loyalty, it's the way you make her feel when you're not doing anything at all. If your energy inspires her, challenges her, and excites her, she will attach herself to you naturally. If it doesn't, no amount of giving will keep her from drifting toward the man who does. Asterisk. The man who truly holds a woman's loyalty isn't the one scrambling to keep her attention. He's the one who knows his worth without needing to prove it. He doesn't bend his boundaries just to avoid conflict. He doesn't sacrifice his purpose to orbit her world. No. He gives, but never from a place of emptiness. He can walk away if respect is gone, not because he doesn't care, but because he refuses to abandon himself for anyone. This man doesn't play games, yet he remains a mystery because his life is bigger than her. He has passions, goals, and standards that shape his decisions, and he never trades them for short-term approval. He's grounded calm when she tests him, steady when emotions rise. He doesn't get pulled into her storms, becomes the rock. She can anchor too. When she pushes, he doesn't flinch. When she challenges him, he stands his ground without hostility. His presence alone creates a mix of safety and excitement, making her feel both secure and alive in his company. A woman feels a deeper connection to a man who is emotionally sovereign because his energy isn't dictated by her moods. She knows she can't control him, and that unpredictability keeps her invested. She can feel his strength not just in how he protects her, but in how he protects his own identity. He's not giving her his all to earn her love, he's inviting her into his already fulfilling life. It's this combination of stability and mystery that hooks her. She stays not because he overwhelms her with constant effort, but because every moment with him feels charged with presence. He's the man she can't replace, not because of what he gives her, but because of who he is when he's with her. Asterisk, nice guys often believe that the more they give early on, the more secure the relationship will be. They shower her with attention, affection, and constant availability, thinking they're building loyalty. But in reality, they're flooding the connection with something that feels good in the moment, yet kills attraction over time predictability. When she knows exactly when you'll call, exactly what you'll say, exactly how you'll react. There's no tension, no spark, no mystery. Relationship becomes emotionally flat, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing too much of what doesn't move her. Attraction lives in polarity. The dance between the masculine and the feminine. When a man gives everything without requiring her to invest, without letting her feel the thrill of earning his attention, he removes that polarity. She may appreciate his efforts, but appreciation is not desire. Appreciation doesn't keep her up at night thinking about him. Desire needs space, needs uncertainty. It needs moments where she's not sure what's coming next. If she's with you only for what you do, she's already halfway out the door when someone else does more. But when she's with you because of how she feels in your presence, because you create an energy she can't find anywhere else, that bond becomes harder to break. Overgiving often comes from fear, a fear of losing her. Fear of not being enough. Fear that without constant proof of your value, she'd drift. But those fears create exactly the outcome you're trying to avoid. She doesn't want to feel smothered. She wants to feel drawn in. The more you give, without depth, the more invisible you become. And the more space you give while holding your center, the more her attraction grows toward the man she can't fully predict. Asterisk, at the end of the day, a woman's loyalty lives in the present moment, not in the history you've built with her. She's not keeping a silent scorecard of all the favors, sacrifices, and romantic gestures you've made. She's measuring how she feels right now when she's with you. That's why a man can spend years providing, loving, and protecting, only to hear her say, "I just don't feel the same anymore." To you, it's shocking, because you're looking at everything you've done. To her, the past is irrelevant if the present no longer moves her. This is why chasing her with gifts, constant attention, or emotional caretaking rarely works. It's trying to solve an emotional problem with a transactional solution. Her connection to you isn't built on obligation. It's built on emotional impact. When she's with a man who radiates presence, purpose, and power, she feels something real. She feels safe, desired, and activated in her feminine energy. That's the bond no one else can replace. So you stop thinking of loyalty as something you earn through work and start seeing it as something you inspire by being a certain kind of man. You give when you want to, not because you're afraid not to. You lead with calm, grounded confidence, not with the need for reassurance. You stand firm when tested, not to dominate her, but to prove to yourself that your center can't be shaken. When you become that man, you stop fearing her leaving. You understand that if she goes, she's simply making space for someone who truly values your energy. And the women who stay, stay because they feel something they can't get anywhere else. That's how loyalty is created, not through chasing or convincing, but through the undeniable pull of a man fully anchored in who he is.